How's it going, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez. It's time to review Tyrant Season 3, Episode 2, titled Cockroach. Spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. It's taking about 3 minutes to recap and give the pros, cons, and final score. Thanks again for joining me. Last week, Season 3 premiered, obviously. It was good, I didn't think it was great. I kind of had bigger expectations, which was my fault. But I love Tyrant Season 2. It's my favorite season. I didn't get to see Season 1. I only saw 3 episodes, 2 episodes maybe. And I just didn't keep up with it. I wasn't very interested at the time. Mind you, it was 3 years ago, so time changes, kind of, in a way, I guess you could say. But Season 2 was fantastic, man. I loved it, and it's going a different direction, so let's get on to it, man. Cockroach. There was actually a cockroach outside when I went to go outside earlier, and I literally thought, because I was like, oh, I gotta watch Tyrant, Cockroach, and I was like, fuck, cockroach outside. It's a big-ass little cockroach, not little, big cockroach. Very ugly, disgusting. I don't like them. It's gross, so stop. Here we go. Handy dandy journal. First off, man, the U.S. wants to be allies with Abu Din. After that, they're offering 2,000 to 3,000 soldiers if they become allies. Fauzi calls Barry, and he's coming to Abu Din. Fauzi was, I believe, in Season 2, because he looks very familiar. He looked very familiar, so he's obviously from the past of the show. Rashid is getting this prosthetic arm, which we never really get to see, but he's by the doctor where he's going to get a prosthetic arm, so, because he lost his arm last season. So that's cool, but we never really got to see him actually get the prosthetic arm, so I don't know if he had it at the end of the episode or if he's going to get it next week. Ahmed's wife's funeral, very, sad thing. I didn't drop tears, but it was very sad for Ahmed, man. I like to say Ahmed, but it's Ahmed, if I'm saying it right, Ahmed. Sammy was there, and Barry's daughter, and, he's like, alright, we're family. But then Ahmed last season was such a douche to Sammy and them, and now he's all like, oh, in his time of need, he's like taking their loving. But seriously, it sucks because he can't have an open funeral and stuff like that, so he has to just put her there. It sucks. It sucks very much. His mom's still a douche every now and then. Jamal's awake, but he's not talking, and this guy is laughing at him. He's mocking him, or this guy, he's like, yeah, when you were the king or something, like he was basically saying a bunch of stuff, crap, like, well, you can't do nothing now, huh? How does it feel to be alone? How does it feel to be, when I spit on your grave, and no one's going to be spitting on my grave. By the way you're talking, it seems like you pissed off a lot of people, so they might be spitting on your grave. Anyway, from that, Fauzi is teaching this class. He should run for president. A lot of, like his students said, why don't you run for president? And Barry, when he goes to see Barry, he's kind of like, that's not a bad idea. You might want to run for president. So when he sees Barry, Barry ends up confessing before Fauzi leaves. And that's when it kicked in last season, when that whole thing where he killed Fauzi's daughter, so he confesses because he was going to kill Adalia. His daughter was going to kill Adalia, and Barry was already shot, so Barry had to take her down. And it's such a big moment because he grabs the president of Abu Din. He grabs Barry, throws him to the wall, holding him, choking him, and the guards come in, and Barry's like, no, back off. And it's badass, dude, because he's like, if you want to kill me and choke me, you can do it, but know that you will die right afterwards, and we'd all be dead. And that was a big-ass moment for that. And you could see Fauzi spitting on him, like, but still, it's a very big moment, man, and he didn't go through with it, obviously. Fauzi ended up leaving, and he said, I've lost everything in life, and now, I've lost you in a way where, I'm done with you. I'm not, you're befriending the president of Abu Din, so if I'd still be friends with the president. I'd just be like, anytime, I'm pissed. But what was he supposed to do? Barry would have been dead if he didn't do natural instincts to take and kill. He was threatened. He was going to die. So, sorry. It was either my life or your daughter's life, which she was going to kill us innocents. Alright? his daughter was going down a wrong path either way. So Barry's wife is in this area. She's going to go do a speech, and all of a sudden a bunch of bombs are going out, and she runs, she falls and hits herself on the head, and her daughter, Emma, Barry's daughter, obviously Emma, gets taken instead. So later on they're on this webcam, and Barry sees, and Rashid wants his wife. Rashid doesn't want the daughter, so he's like, your wife for your daughter. So that's, Molly's angry because Barry's like, we're not gonna do that. But no, Molly's like, I don't care. I'm gonna do it. We'll trade my life because I've already lived. You know, Molly and Barry, they've lived their lives. Don't get me wrong, they may have many years left, but they're 40, 50, years old. They've lived, like, she has a life to live. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense to trade your life for another. So that ends up happening, and Barry refuses. Sammy has a new love interest, which that's if I go up to like the librarian. If I go to the local library, and the librarian, she hands me a book, and I touch their hand, and we're like, and I go and reach her hand again. Not gonna happen, right? Not gonna happen. So how did it happen in here? I don't. It's weird because the guy that Sammy's hitting on, he could do better. He can do way better. Yeah, because the guy looks like a guy who watches Blue's Clues at his age. Like that's what he looks like. So be careful, Sammy. Don't do that. So anyway, Molly drives herself to this guy's house, which was one of the priest guys, and she's saying, will you help me get in contact with Rashid? So what did I think about this episode overall, guys? Let me give you them pros. I gotta give you those pros. First off, the action. Definitely with the, I forgot to tell you, when she was in the car and it blew up and everything, General Saeed, was it General Saeed? Yeah. General Saeed died, which is Jamal's son. And, like, nobody talks about it like, oh, General Saeed's dead. You introduced him last season, like, I've been on the show for a season and a half. I die. Oh, he died. Oh, back onto the show, I guess. Like, I didn't like General Saeed. I hated his haircut. His hair was annoying. No offense to the actor, but your hair was annoying. Still, he's dead. Alright, move on. Like, really? You're not gonna, like... Are you serious? It's stupid, really. Anyway, the action was pretty good, even like the gunfire and the exploding, and Barry as well. The Adam Rayner who plays Barry, or Bassam. He's awesome. He's really awesome in this role. He does give a powerhouse acting ability, man. He's very good at acting as Bassam. Jamal awake, and Jamal kind of talking. Right when I heard Jamal talk, I was like, there it is. That's the sound of music right there. That's the sound of an Emmy nomination, because Jamal, like I praised him last year, man. He was fantastic. That actor who plays Jamal, he's fantastic. And having him alive and awake, it's even more better. Give him more lines. He needed more lines this episode. As well, Fozzie, that definitely strong scenes with Fozzie and Barry confessing. It just made it more impact. That was the highlight of the episode. The only cons for this episode, I would have to say, Sammy's new love interest. And not just that, but why does everyone need a love interest? Why does Sam need to have love this season? He already had love the other season. Why does he need to have another person? Why are you giving so much attention to the daughter and the son? I enjoy it. They're interesting characters. They're side characters. But I don't need to start no love interest. None of that. We don't need that. Not even Emma needs to find a boyfriend. Like, you don't need that. We don't need to see that. I mean, I will see where it goes. But still, like, shouldn't we focus on Barry and stuff like that instead of Sammy having love, Either way, the General's death, it was still, I was like, is he going to die? Because I wanted him to die. I was like, oh, is he going to die? They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Is he dead? I guess he's dead. And, yeah, because he has a hole in his heart, so he's dead. And, like, it was just kind of like, oh, he's dead, and like there was no big deal or impact on that. As well, not much Jamal. We needed more Jamal. It's a very predictable episode as well. There are certain moments, like you could tell that Emma was going to be taken instead of the mom at times. Like, it was very predictable on where the story was going. And the U.S. General and Jamal's wife, I'm going to be honest, I love Tyrant. I think it's a really good show, but I don't care for the U.S. General. We make barbecue. I'm from Texas. I know we make barbecue. Yes, we do. But we make barbecue. Look at that. You have a stain right in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Like, that's just a waste of time, really. That you have too many characters that you're trying to show, and you're trying to do something with. Just do Barry and that Jamal, and that's it. You don't need to go to boom, 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 and political, and there's too much stuff. Keep it at a slow pace, and that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to end up giving this Tyrant episode a solid B. Thought it was a good episode. Wasn't great, had some entertaining scenes in it, obviously. Fozzie and the president of Abudin, that whole scene there, that was pretty good, where he's choking him out and everything, and Barry. I mean, it was just great acting in general, and a good mind, because Season 2 has a lot of very memorable moments. So comment down below to me what you guys thought about this episode of Tyrant. I really like to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, follow my Facebook page down below, share with your friends, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, bye-bye.